I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't want to make this video because every time I bring up the word skinny fat, this picture pops in my head. Yeah, that used to be me. And the crazy thing is, about 70% of gym goers that go to the gym right now look like this, where they have lean arms, or sometimes might have veins in their arms. But as soon as they take off their shirt, damn, the arms look good, but the belly's still there. And if we're being honest, it's like when you're texting your friend and he has an Android, yeah, he has a phone, but bro, that shit is green. But let's deep dive into it. And it's kind of funny because I used to be that friend who was skinny fat and did have the Android. Anyways, what should you do so you can go from skinny fat to lean and shredded? Is it cutting? Is it bulking? Or do you do something completely different? And as somebody who used to be skinny fat, I used to have a struggle when it comes to making that decision as well too. I used to cut the carbs fast thinking that was the solution to getting shredded. But that just led me to being more and more confused. That's why today I want to break down the 3 methods that could help you when it comes to being skinny fat, to getting shredded, but most importantly, help you identify which method works best for you. Because there is one that works for you, and I want to show you which one, so therefore you can get more results and get shredded. So let's deep dive into it. All right, let's talk about cutting. Cutting is when you eat in a calorie deficit, eating less food than you're actually burning on a daily basis to get lean, to get shredded, most importantly, get in shape. It sounds simple, right? But the thing about cutting is, yes, there's a lot of pros. You feel a lot more confident in yourself, you get leaner, you start seeing those abs, but there's also a lot of cons. And even before I deep dive into the pros and cons, if I'm being honest, if you're above 20-25% body fat, I would cut. It's your best ticket to leaning down and seeing what your muscle foundation actually looks like, which therefore can give you a better idea of what you should do next. Because let's say you're 25% body fat, 30% body fat, and you cut down to 15, you at 15% body fat will have a lot more control on your physique than you at 30% body fat. Meaning you at 15, see your abs, see your physique, you see your genetics, and then that gives you the idea of, do I just want to maintain this physique, eat my maintenance, and stay relatively lean while being around the same weight? Or do I want to bulk up, get stronger, get bigger? That is up to you, but now let's go into the pros and cons. When it comes to cutting, there's a lot of benefits. You get reduced body fat. It's like hitting the delete button and getting rid of all the unwanted fat. It will improve your definition. You start seeing those ab lines. As well, it can help improve your health. Lower body fat, better insulin sensitivity, as well as better heart health, better cardiovascular health. And the best one is you'll increase your body definition in no time. Like Dylan. Dylan lost 37 pounds in 4 months, all from cutting and eating in a calorie deficit. And now Dylan is faster than ever, leaner than ever, has no lower back pain, and he's getting ready for National Guard. And if he can do this, you could do as well too. But there are some cons when it comes to cutting that you actually have to watch out for as well too. Number 1, you might lose some muscle. When you cut and you're in a calorie deficit, depending how wide that deficit is, can lead to a reduction of muscle mass. If it's 300 calories and above, it can leave you feeling weaker, having low energy, which therefore can affect your workouts and affect how you perform in your day-to-day. And that's why when it comes to cutting, I don't recommend doing it over a long period of time. I recommend doing it for a good 4 to 6 to 8 months, depending how much weight you're trying to lose. And then over time, go back to your maintenance and maintain the weight and just focus on building muscle. And last but not least, it might leave you looking thin. A lot of people, when they're skinny fat and they cut and they're 18% body fat, they just look skinnier than ever. And that might have an effect on you psychologically and when it comes to the amount of weight you're able to push in the gym. So when it comes to cutting, there are pros, there are cons, but I would highly recommend it to people that are over 20, 25 to 30% body fat, so therefore they could cut down first and then bulk. Bulking is the equivalent of going all in on a buffet, but in a good way. Eating a caloric surplus to pack up muscle, gain size, and get stronger. And when it comes to bulking, just like cutting, I would be just as mindful. Meaning if you're 20 to 30% body fat, don't bulk, dude. That's just going to lead to more fat being accumulated in your body. But if you want to bulk and you're between 15 to 19% body fat, bro, go for it. You're gonna gain more size. You're gonna get a lot stronger. You're gonna have a lot more energy, not just in the gym, but also outside the gym. Just like cutting, there are pros and cons. And let's talk about the cons. When bulking is not done properly, it can easily lead to an excess of fat gain. Meaning if you go on a dirty bulk and you just hope for the best, you might end up looking like a marshmallow. And that's going to lead you to losing your muscle definition, which can have a huge impact on your mindset and the way you see yourself in the mirror, the way you feel about the gym, and your motivation towards everything overall. I've seen people bulk at 20 to 30% body fat, they haven't came back. And last but not least, it takes a little bit of time. Bulking is a marathon. not a sprint. And it's going to take some time for your body to actually get used to your appetite. So that's why I always recommend starting small. It's going to take some time for you to get stronger in the gym. It's not just going to happen within weeks. It's going to take a few months. Just like Ryan. And when he joined me, he was already working out months in the gym and he was struggling to add on size and he couldn't understand why. He was eating a surplus, he was working out, but there were no gains. So I made sure he was actually eating the right amount because he wasn't eating as much as he thought he was. When it comes to protein, carbs, and fats, they are not the same in a caloric scale. So you have to identify how much you're actually eating to put your body in the best position to actually see gain and sustain it while you're bulking. And two, I gave him the right workout program that can actually help him bulk up. You can't just go into the gym and say, I'm gonna do 20 reps of the same way over and over again. That's not going to cut it. So yes, bulking does work when done the right way. But now let's go into the pros. What are the pros of bulking? 1, recoveries tends to be faster. Why? Because you're eating more. More protein, more food, you're going to recover a lot faster than you usually would. 2, you're gonna have a lot more energy. When it comes to bulking, especially when you're eating a surplus, it tends to give you an excess energy, which therefore can actually increase your performance in the gym with the amount of weight you're able to push, the amount of volume you're able to do, most importantly, the intensity you're able to maintain. And last but not least, you're going to gain a lot of muscle faster than your ability to go and approach your gym crush. So when it comes to bulking, there's a lot of benefits, but you have to do it the right way. But now, let's talk about main gaining. Because when it comes to main gaining, it tends to be a little bit slower than bulking and cutting. And I recommend if you're around 12% to 18% body fat, this is exactly for you. And it's basically getting lean without the roller coaster of bulking and cutting. It's like the slow and steady wins the race version of fitness. And like I was saying before, it tends to take a little bit longer, which is con number 1. Main gaining usually takes anywhere from 6 to 1 year, sometimes 2-3 years. So therefore, more people tend to push it off because, well, we want fast results, right? But when it comes to main gaining, I'd actually recommend this to a lot of people, especially if you're not a bodybuilder and you just want to be lean, just want to be fit. Just eat your maintenance calories, build muscle, change your body composition, change your physique as you go. And it will require you to be disciplined on your nutrition, on your fitness, so therefore you're doing things accurately with intention. And if you do, you'll get some amazing results, which leads into the pros. Especially as a beginner, I would recommend this. You would gain muscle as you progressively get better in the gym. And when you gain more muscle, you start seeing your physique, especially if you main gain from 1 year to 2 years, you have a solid idea what you should do next. Should you get leaner or should you bulk and gain a little bit more size? And it's also a lot more sustainable. And like I was saying before, if your goal is not to step on stage, look jacked for social media, I'd recommend this. Because it allows you to ease into the process of weightlifting, ease into the process of changing your physique, changing the way you look, changing the way you feel, getting better health without the constant up and down that cutting and bulking can bring. So now you know about cutting, bulking, and main gaining. What worked for me? Can I be honest? Neither. It was a combination of all three. I started at 23% body fat. So I cut down first. Then once I cut down to about 185, I bulked back up to about 200. And once I bulked back up to 200, I cut back down to about 190. And once I cut back down to 190, I bulked back up to 205. And this is currently me right now at 208 on my current bulk because I'm doing it again. For me, I prefer the cutting and bulking. And that's why for the next 2 years, I'm gonna be bulking to 220 because I wanna get huge, get strong in a lean bulk. So therefore, once I reach 220, I cut down to 205 to see how my physique appears. And let me know in the comments what you're deciding to do. And I hope this video gave you the exact value that you needed to do so. But with that being said, hope you enjoyed this one. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Make sure to like, subscribe. Remember, if you ever need any help, I got some free guides down below that you could utilize to help you kickstart your journey. Most importantly, take it to a whole different level. That being said, stay beautiful, stay blessed. Catch you next time. Peace.